from Dallas, Texas, Ashliegh Lisset. Ashley, are you there with us?
Yes, I am.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you for joining us on the show.
Well, thank you for having me.
All right. So we're going to start off the interview by just asking you quickly, how long have you been singing for?
I've been professionally singing since I was 5, but I've been singing since I was like 2, since before I could talk. So that's a pretty long time. So I'm guessing like 15 years.
And what would you say are your biggest influences musically?
Definitely George Strait. Gotta love George. Carrie Underwood, because gotta have a girl. And Pat Benatar really inspires me because I've always loved her edginess. She's a great 80s singer. And my personal favorite, I love Janis Joplin as well. So they've definitely influenced me pretty well.
According to your bio, you perform across Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever performed outside of Texas?
No, not yet, but I would really love to.
Where do you want to go?
Wherever I can possibly be is where I would want to be. It just doesn't matter as long as it's anywhere. I just love to perform.
That's awesome. What's the biggest challenge you think in your career so far?
The biggest challenge, I would definitely say, you hear people say it, but you never actually know. It's trying to get a record label to actually listen to your music. Would definitely be the hardest thing, I think, so far.
So you're currently recording an album with Eric Legg and Biff Watson. When do you expect that album to be done?
I am not exactly sure, and I won't have the date until I'm in Nashville. But I'm hoping by February of next year.
Of 2012?
Yes, 2012.
So what can your fans expect on this album?
It's definitely a variety of sounds. It ranges from country all the way to rock. The few of the songs are just fun and upbeat. They're very feel-good kind of songs. But there's also low-key songs that I think that everybody can definitely relate to.
So you have Twitter. How do you think social media has helped your career?
It's helped get my music heard all over the world, and it's helped basically just get my name out there, and so it helps quite a bit.
All right. Sorry, Ashley, we're just looking through the questions again. One of your most memorable moments in your career has been recording in Nashville, Tennessee. Can you talk about that experience?
Yes. When I first entered the studio for the very, very first time, I was so nervous because I really didn't know what to expect. I had never been in that type of environment before. But once I heard the band that I was working with and they were tracking my songs and I got into the recording booth, I knew that music was definitely something that I was going to do, and I'm very thankful that I've had that opportunity. So that is definitely a very big memory for me, is getting to work with awesome, awesome people in Nashville.
This is sort of maybe a bit of a tough question, but your father passed away at the age of 11. How did his passion spark your singing?
He loved to hear me sing. I think that's one of my biggest reasons. He was very passionate about the things that he did, and I think that that's kind of how I am with music. He loved country music, and so do I. And when he passed, I guess, music essentially is what, helped in my healing process, because it just kind of reminds me of, the time that he was here. So he definitely sparked my passion in that way.
We kind of touched on this a little earlier, but what's the next step? I know you're recording an album, but what's sort of the next step in your career?
Definitely after this album is done, I want to try to start performing anywhere that I can, opening up for different bands in the local area and hopefully in Nashville as well.
Perfect. Now, I guess I got to sort of ask you, you've been singing for a long time, and I got to ask, what sort of things do you sort of inspire you to sing and record, other than just obviously the passing of your father, but what sort of things sort of motivate you to write songs and sing?
Life experiences, definitely. Those are the best. You can take memories and you can write them down, and I think it's just a matter of how you interpret it. So that's definitely something there.
All right, so we're going to be playing we've already played one of your songs already tonight on the show. So we're going to play another. We're going to play the other one, It's Okay to Lie. Can you talk to us a little bit about this song and sort of like where you got the inspiration to write this one?
Well, I actually did not write this one. It was given to me by a songwriter, George Taryn, and I actually did get to pick this song. And I picked this song because I automatically was just drawn to it because it was kind of my sound, and I really did like the lyrics to it. And that was definitely a song that really stood out to me, other than Too Much Intake. So those both definitely stood out to me.
Perfect. Before we let you go, is there anything else you want to add to the interview tonight?
Um, Other than thanking you guys for giving me the opportunity, I wouldn't, I never would have thought that I would be on a radio interview right now. So thank you guys so much for having me on this show.